Welcome to Declutter Week Part 1. Let's talk about clothes. When it comes to clothing, I may not be the perfect example for several reasons. One of them being that I don't really own that much clothing to start with. When I was still working as an employee, I was working in an office, so I had to dress the part. I had lots of shirts, I had jackets, I had office trousers, and that is a particular style of clothing that doesn't really suit what I'm doing now. Being self-employed, I usually work from home or I work at customers' residences. And when it comes to decluttering, you can probably imagine that that involves a lot of dusty, long-abandoned spaces. So dressing up in office attire doesn't really do the trick. I need hard-working, easy-to-clean, comfortable clothes to go into those spaces and feel comfortable and not be hindered by wearing stuff that doesn't suit the situation. So my content of my drawers has changed. However, I still found a lot of shirts and I've kept them for a number of years now, and when I looked at them, I realized that many of them I didn't like wearing because I didn't like the material. So those went onto the discard pile straight away. Another thing that my new job brings with it is that I'm wearing a lot of t-shirts and pullovers because they tend to be comfortable and warm. So I've kept a lot of t-shirts that weren't really up to par anymore. Why? Because I was wearing them under my pullovers. So that's quite a useful thing to have, but there is a limit to how many of those you really want to keep. So I did a serious reshuffle of my t-shirts. I took out quite a number of them that were too tight or didn't really do it for me anymore. I also removed a lot of the t-shirts that I couldn't in good conscience wear outside of a pullover. So that made a huge dent and added to the discard pile. Talking of pullovers, that's the one category where I found a lot of clothing that I have loved to pieces. Literally. Pullovers tend to go at the seams around the neck. If you use them for a large number of years, then they go at these places. They go at the seams here. And I kept wearing them because I loved them. I loved the way they fitted me and I loved the colors. But luckily, over Christmas, I walked into a shop that had a discount on a lot of pullovers that I actually liked. And I thought about it, and while I was buying them, I actually visualized already that those would be the ones to replace the old ones that were falling to pieces. And that's exactly what I did. I brought those pullovers in, and when I vacated the pullovers out of their storage at home, I immediately saw that there was no need for keeping them because I had found new pieces that I loved as much. So a lot of pullovers went and were replaced with new ones. Another type of stuff that I found in my clothing racks is fancy dress. Usually we wear those things once or twice and then they could really go, but it feels a bit odd to buy something and then just wear it once and throw it out. Yes, fancy dress tends to be cheap, but still. So I went through all these things and removed lots of them. But I also put some aside for alterations, so I could make them into shorts, for example, or into shirts that suited a daily use rather than just fancy dress. And that's easy enough to do if you know your way around a needle and thread. What I also pulled out is a set of curtains that I've kept forever and will never use again. I had a bathrobe that had been given to me a long time ago by my mum, but I never wear bathrobes, so it was only really taking up space, that kind of thing. I ended up with 3 bags to go to charity, 2 of which were clothing that could be resold, and 1 bag contained the loved to pieces bits like the pullovers and t-shirts that weren't quite up to scratch because charities use them to go to rags and they actually get money for it. So that's fine. This being said, I hope you'll stick around for the rest of Decluttering Week. There will be 4 more entries, 2 of which will be blog posts, 2 will be videos. See the links below. And stay clutter aware. Come back for more. If you want more, there are options. Click the round logo to subscribe to this channel, or select the playlist in the middle to see more content, or check out the links in the description below. Oh, and feel free to like this video.